Chapter 1. The story begins in a distant past. There resided a renowned blacksmith who owned a store where he sold his exquisite handmade ironware. One fortunate day, luck smiled upon him, and he managed to sell his weapons to the war-ravaged kingdom of Cairo. This incredible opportunity elevated his status, and he was honored with the title of Baron. He is none other than the father of Roman Dimitri, the protagonist of this story. In the present, an old man recounts this tale to Roman, who listens intently despite its familiarity with everyone, including himself. A few hours earlier, Roman had questioned his servant about the kingdom of Cairo, situated in the Salamander continent. He revealed himself as the eldest son of the Dimitri family and expressed disbelief in the existence of a world called Murim. Confused by his master's inquiries, the servant wondered if Roman's peculiar behavior was due to drug use, which he considered a result of Roman being the family's outcast. Soon, the servant informed Roman of his upcoming engagement, but Roman displayed no interest in his betrothed. Instead, he requested his servant to escort him to an elder residing in the land. Roman sought to gain knowledge about this world. Meanwhile, it is revealed that the old man sharing the story has been reincarnated in Roman's body, having previously been known as Baek Jonghyuk in the Murim world. Interrupting their conversation, they heard a commotion outside. A group of individuals was bullying someone, identified by the tattoo on their hands as members of the Blood Fang Group. The servant explained that they were likely attacking the person due to unpaid debts, as the Blood Fang Group operated not only in Dimitri's territory but also in nearby regions. While the servant suggested ignoring the situation, Roman had a different plan. Despite his lack of understanding of the land's rules, he intervened and demanded the bullying cease. The bullies, recognizing Roman as the despised Dimitri family's outcast, brushed him off. Roman, unaware of the local customs, asked his servant to clarify the offenses committed in this land. The servant explained that the victim failed to repay his debt in time, which technically justified the attack. However, the Blood Fang Group had no authority to take matters into their own hands. Moreover, by disrespecting the eldest son of the Dimitri family, they committed a crime worthy of capital punishment under the land's laws. Determined to uphold justice, Roman brandished a stick and proclaimed his identity as Roman Dimitri, the eldest son of Lord Romero Dimitri. He declared that he would personally administer the punishment they deserved for breaking the laws. The Blood Fang members prepared to fight back, and a bald man launched an attack on Roman. However, Roman swiftly evaded the strike and pierced the man's throat with the stick. Undeterred, the remaining assailants charged at Roman, but he skillfully dodged their attacks, retaliating by fatally stabbing one of them in the chest. In the midst of the battle, Roman's thoughts wandered. He recalled waking up to find a will left by Roman in a stash of drugs on the floor. In this world, the kingdom selected representatives from each noble house to partake in war. Roman, coerced into joining the conflict on behalf of his family, had chosen to end his own life out of fear. He regarded his previous existence as a pathetic one. However, having assumed Baek Jonghyuk's identity and body, he resolved to live life his own way. As the remaining Blood Fang members attempted to flee, screaming in terror, Roman captured one of them by the head. He made it clear that he had no intention of killing him but insisted that he would still exact payment for their audacious behavior. Roman gouged out the man's eyes, making it known to all that his name was Roman Dimitri. If anyone disagreed with the punishment he had meted out, they were welcome to come and seek him out at any time. Chapter 2. Baek Jonghyuk, known for massacring countless martial artists and turning their blood into rivers, was once revered as the controller of the Murim world under the rule of the Heavenly Demon sect. However, he now found himself constantly dealing with petty street thugs. He instructed his servant, Hans, to summon the guards and report the incident. The man who had been saved expressed gratitude to Roman for his intervention, but Roman clarified that he hadn't acted to help him specifically. The members of the Blood Fang Group had broken the rules and received their punishment accordingly. Curious about the man's situation, Roman requested a concise explanation, warning him that he wouldn't have much time to speak freely. The man revealed that his parents had borrowed money from the Blood Fangs, intending to repay it by selling their crops. However, the Blood Fangs had destroyed their crops instead. Roman's interest was piqued when he learned that the thugs were also after the man's younger sister. Moved by the desperation in the man's eyes, Roman recalled a figure known as the Mad Demon, one of the 4 heavenly kings, whom he had encountered in a similar rundown setting before. Roman asked the man his name, and he responded, Kevin. Roman departed, promising to verify the truth of Kevin's story later. In another scene, Lady Flora, Roman's fiancée, was inside a carriage. A month earlier, Her father had insisted that she marry into the Dimitri family to overcome the hardships plaguing their own land. Reluctantly, she agreed. Now, she had arrived in the land of Dimitri, where she was supposed to marry the family's second son, a man with a promising future. However, Roman had compelled her to marry him instead. Lady Flora pleaded with Roman to call off the marriage, but he acquiesced and assured her that he would discuss the matter with his father. He claimed full responsibility for breaking the engagement. In the following scene, Roman's father scolded him for disrupting the marriage. He berated Roman, mentioning the favorable environment he had provided as a father, despite being known as the disgrace of the Dimitri family. The marriage with the Lawrence family was seen as an opportunity for the Dimitris to elevate their status as nobility, but Roman's actions had jeopardized it. Frustrated, Roman's father threw a cup at him and announced that, now that the engagement was off, Roman would be sent to the battlefield in 6 months. Roman accepted his father's decision and assured him that he would resolve the issues with the Blood Fang Group. Leaving the room, Flora urged him to seek assistance from his father, emphasizing the danger posed by the Blood Fangs. However, Roman dismissed her concerns, stating that she didn't understand her place. Chapter 3. The servant carefully applied perfume on Roman, preparing him for the arrival of his fiancée. Despite his reluctance to marry her, Roman didn't wish to be disrespectful towards a woman who hadn't caused him any trouble. However, he quickly realized that the lady had no intentions of showing him any respect either. He calmly expressed that once the topic of breaking the engagement arose, she had forfeited her right to interfere with his decision. Roman suggested that they should part ways from that moment onward. Meanwhile, Romero, Roman's father, confided in his wife, Rihanna, about his use of violence against Roman in the past. As a commoner, he had frequently subjected Roman to physical abuse. However, after becoming a noble, he had vowed never to let his child endure such treatment again. Rihanna comforted him and encouraged him to assist Roman in dealing with the Blood Fang Group. She suggested seeking Captain Jonathan's help for Roman's protection. Despite the servant's attempt to dissuade Roman from going outside due to the potential danger of retaliation from the Blood Fangs, Roman remained resolute. He explained that the Blood Fangs had earned infamy by mercilessly slaughtering the locals and their enemies, and he intended to confront them on his own terms. The scene shifted to Roman and his servant sitting at the Atelier restaurant. Roman had ordered a meal for his companion and instructed him to wait there until his return. Despite his concerns, the servant couldn't prevent Roman from leaving, acknowledging that the servant had already done more than enough by accompanying him outside. The servant hurriedly went to inform Captain Jonathan about Roman's solo venture, urging him to go and offer assistance in the dangerous situation. As Roman walked through an alley, members of the Blood Fang Group confronted him, seeking revenge. One of them lunged at him with a knife. Meanwhile, the servant informed Captain Jonathan about Roman's whereabouts, emphasizing the potential danger he had placed himself in. Urged to help, the servant swiftly made his way toward the captain to let him know about Roman's current location, knowing that he might be in danger. In the alley, Roman skillfully fought back against the Blood Fang members, surprising them with his combat prowess. With a swift move, he plunged the knife into the attacker's throat, leaving the other 2 assailants stunned by the discrepancy between their preconceived notions of Roman and the reality they now faced. Roman stood poised, ready to take down any further threats they presented. Chapter 4. The servant approached Captain Jonathan and informed him about Roman's decision to confront the Blood Fang Group. However, the captain and his men initially laughed at the servant's words, dismissing them as a lie. Undeterred, the servant insisted that it was the truth, recalling Lord Romero's order for them to assist Roman. Recognizing the significance of Lord Romero's command, Captain Jonathan instructed the servant to lead them to the young master's location. In another scene, Roman prepared himself for the impending fight against his enemies. As the 2 assailants lunged at him, he effortlessly evaded their attacks. With swift and precise movements, Roman swiftly incapacitated them, subduing their efforts to harm him. Interrogating one of them, Roman demanded to know the identity of their leader, seeking to uncover crucial information. The scene shifted to a pub where people were enjoying drinks and laughter. Roman entered the establishment, and the bartender inquired about his beverage preference. Roman requested a 27-year-old Tears of Dawn, but the bartender regretfully informed him that they didn't have such a drink. Undeterred, Roman inquired about the Dew of Dawn. The bartender revealed that it was a pub located in the middle of the street, known for providing tasks and missions. He also shared the special code required to gain access to the pub: Tears of Dawn, Dawn, something strong, and work in the morning. Sensing an imminent attack, the bartender attempted a surprise assault on Roman but was swiftly overpowered and knocked out. The patrons of the pub, witnessing Roman's formidable strength and combat prowess, were left astounded. Roman effortlessly defeated anyone who dared to engage him in battle. The Heavenly Demon's influence had enabled Roman to enhance his physical abilities through martial arts, although he acknowledged that he was far from his former self. As the bartender's accomplices attempted to retaliate, Roman continued to prevail against them, easily overpowering his opponents. The pub erupted into chaos as the fight unfolded, with Roman emerging victorious in each confrontation. The onlookers marveled at his newfound strength, astonished by the progress he had made in such a short time. Meanwhile, Captain Jonathan, witnessing the aftermath of Roman's victory, was astonished by his display of skill. A guard approached the captain, informing him that young Master Roman had headed towards Lawrence. Jonathan, perplexed by Roman's destination, realized that Lawrence was likely the location of the Blood Fang Group's headquarters. Chapter 5. In the pub, an hour ago, Roman resorted to torturing and interrogating the bartender in his pursuit of information. Despite cutting off 2 of the bartender's fingers, the man remained resolute, refusing to divulge any details. Frustrated, Roman threatened to kill the bartender's son, emphasizing the seriousness of his intentions. He swore upon his name, Roman Dimitri, giving the bartender a choice: keep silent to protect Blood Fang and let his son perish, or provide the information Roman sought. Meanwhile, a member of the Blood Fang Group reported to their leader about Roman's extraordinary feat of defeating their entire division single-handedly. The leader was astonished to learn of Roman Dimitri's remarkable abilities, questioning the extent of his capabilities. Eager to ascertain Roman's whereabouts, he ordered his men to gather their forces, determined to eliminate Roman Dimitri. In the region of Lawrence, nobles engaged in discussions concerning an impending war with Barcos. Word had spread that Barcos had withdrawn a significant sum of money from the gold bank to prepare for the conflict, intensifying concerns of an inevitable battle. The nobles fretted over the potential loss of their territories if war were to break out. However, the Lord of Lawrence offered a glimmer of hope, citing the proposed marriage alliance with the Dimitri family. This news brought joy to the gathering, as the wealth of the Dimitris, despite their commoner origins, made them the wealthiest in the northern region. The nobles believed that no matter the amount of money Barcos had obtained as a loan, they would not surpass the riches of the Dimitris. Flora, worried about how to approach her father regarding the marriage council, was interrupted by a man rushing in. He greeted Flora and urgently informed her father about an emergency. Meanwhile, Captain Jonathan emphasized the importance of opening the gate, warning the guards that if anything happened to young Lord Roman, there would be dire consequences. Soon, a man arrived at the gate, informing the guards that Lawrence Plaza was in chaos and turmoil. The sight that met everyone's eyes was a terrified populace witnessing Roman dragging the leader of the Blood Fang Group while he is screaming for help.